Okay, a good nerve Shavuos on the third day of Yimei Hagbola, on the last day of Svira, as we count to the treasure on Malchus Sheba Malchus. I welcome you, but no better way to prepare for Shavuos than learning Torah. You're doing the right thing if you're listening to the share. As busy as we are, this is going to a mikveh shalesh. The Torah is a mikveh shalesh. And I want to remind you, if you didn't make it, don't forget to make an Erev Tavshilin. We're sponsored by the Fisher family, the Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shalom Ben Avraham Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. And for the Nishmas Dov Ben Chaim, the Fush Shalem for Yomis Ben Chaisar, Yaakov Ben Bas Yileh, for the Schus of Avraham Yom Ben Ishma Malk Yudis and family, by Yo Klugman and family. Also, the Fush Shalem for Vidar Ayyub Ben Rifkin, the Bas Chaisar, Yitzhak Ben Siben Dush, Rivka Bas Shiraleah. Chana Bas Shashabina, Dvar Bas Shashabina, Chaisar Bas Shashabina, Mashmeh Ben Esther Fradel, Yitzhak Mordechai Ben Esther Bracha, and Meir Ben Chaisar. They should have Refuah Shalema B'Sei Sheikh Yisrael. Okay, so if you remember, we said that there's a difference between a vessel that was Ru'ah, that was weakened, started to crack, and a broken vessel. A vessel that's weakened, if it could hold and not fall apart a half a kag of Gregoris, it's still Makabel Tumah. A gistera, a broken keli, if it has a hole where liquid leaks out of, it's already tahar. So the Mishna says a zohi gistera, one constitutes a gistera. Kol shenitlu azna, if its handles were removed, once its handles are removed, you can't carry it easily, it's a gistera. Hoyaba chidudin yotzin, if it had sharp edges coming out, and in other words, if the top of the barrel is broken and there are jagged edges on the top of the barrel, kol hamakabel ima b'zeisim, if the jagged edges still could hold olives, mitame b'maga, then something that touches it outside is tameh, or kenegdai, and opposite the jagged edges, mitame ba'aver, it's mitame in its airspace. But v'kol she'ena mekabel ima b'zeisim, but if in that area where the edges are, it will not accept olives, then mitame b'maga, it still contaminates when something touches it outside, but ve'en kenegdai mitame ba'aver, but opposite those pieces that are too far apart, if a sheretz is dangled, it will not be tameh. Hoisemut al tzida, if a broken keli is lying on its side, kamin katedra, like a type of a chair that is enclosed in three sides. Kol hamakabel ima b'zeisim, any place where it could hold olives, mitame b'maga, or kenegdai mitame ba'aver, opposite it is mitame, what goes in its interior. V'kol she'ena makabel ima b'zeisim, as we said, mitame b'maga, it's mitame upon touch outside, but within its jagged edges, it's not matame in its airspace. Now here, we have broken vessels that are pointed, and normally we say that if it can't sit on the ground, it's tar. But here, the reason why it's pointed edges is because it's made to sit in another receptacle. So shulei kurfiyos, the bottom of the the vessels that are from Kurfi, V'shulei Kaisim Atzidainim, and the Shulei Kaisim, this was a vessel that sat in a tripod. Afal Pisha Eina Yechalim Leishiv Shalait Misamachim, even though they cannot sit, not propped up, Tmeim, Shalachei Nasu Mitchilasim, they were made to be supported in another vessel. It's like, this is very similar to the case of Lapid, the torch, that even though it had a pointed bottom, but since it was meant to be put in a pole, it's Mekabel Tumah. Now here we have a really, really interesting case. We have a clay cheres, sometimes it's with a samach, sometimes with sin. Sheyesh lo shalosh sefayos. It has 3 rims. In the opening of the keli, there's 3 rims. So some are decorative. So hapnimius oidefes al hakol. Hapnimius oidefes. If the inner rim is the highest one, and that's the one that gets into the keli, then hakol tar. The in between the inner rim and the second rim, and in between the second rim and the third rim, is tar, because that's not part of the keli. Hachitzaynoi defes, if the outer one is the highest one, so then everything is embraced inside the outer one, then akol tameh. What about if ha'emtzios oidefes? What about if the middle rim is the highest rim? So then, in such a case, mimeno v'lifnim, from it, the middle one, and within, tameh. Mimeno v'lachutz, from it and out towards the outside rim, is tar. That's the resolution. What about if hayu shavos? If there's 3 rims and they're all the same size? Rabbi Yehuda says, cholkin ha'emtzayis. We divide the middle section. It's the space between the middle rim and the inner rim. Half is tameh and half is tar. Hakol tar. Everything outside of the inner rim is tar, because it's only that one that counts as the interior of the keli. Now, klei cheres me'emasei mekablim tumah. At what point is an earthenware considered nigmar malachtai and it's mekabel tumah? So the opinion of the Chachamim, and the Gemara will say, this is what Rabbi Yochanan quotes, when it's baked in the kiln, or as we said, there's another pronunciation, the kill, because that's when it is considered completed. Okay, Rabbi Isai, I want to remind you that if it's, I don't know, you might be listening to this in the West Coast or somewhere else where it's still early in the day, please listen to my Shavuos Gems, and also there's a great share about David HaMelech for the Shabbos Rus table, so check that out as well. I want to remind you to make an Erev Tavshilin. If you didn't count 3, you could still say 49 without the bracha, and you should use this Shavuos to make a commitment to Hashem that this year I'm going to make more time for Torah. I'm going to have maybe a new Seder. I'm going to tackle a new Sefer. I'm going to make a place in my house special where I sit and learn. But really think about adding to your learning output. Remember, that's, after all, the best preparation for the next world. People like to put away money in an IRA or for their retirement. Well, the big retirement is the next world, and the best way to prepare for the next world is by learning Torah. That's why we stay up the whole night tonight. We stay up the whole night because we show that we want to put ourselves out for Torah. We want to stretch ourselves for Torah. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful Yom Tov and a wonderful Shabbos.